Hey there, treasure hunters and coin flippers of America, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential paydays. And yes, today we're talking about a coin that might just be hiding in your car's cup holder or that mysterious jar on top of the fridge. Now buckle up, because this isn't just another quarter. This little beauty from 2012 with a humble D-mint mark stands tall like the Alaskan mountain it's named after, and believe it or not, it's worth up to $1.1 million. That's right over $1 million for a 25-cent piece. Let that sink in. Imagine finding one in your coin jar and suddenly realizing you're sitting on the same amount of money as a sports car or a down payment on your dream house. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so special, how to identify it, and what makes it worth so much money. But first, let me tell you a little story that might hit home for anyone who's ever cleaned out a junk drawer looking for batteries and instead found a small fortune. So picture this: it's a Saturday afternoon and I'm doing the dreaded spring cleaning. The garage was a war zone. Old paint cans, Christmas lights from 1998, boxes labeled miscellaneous stuff. Always a good sign. In one of those boxes I found my old coin collection from when I was a teenager, back when I thought I'd grow up to be Indiana Jones mixed with a Wall Street investor. That dream didn't exactly pan out, but that old box held a few surprises. I dusted it off, cracked it open, and started going through it, and bam, there it was, a shiny quarter with a big grizzly bear standing proud on the back. Denali. I thought that sounds familiar. I flipped it over and saw the D-mint mark and remembered reading about a rare 2012 D Denali quarter that had sold at auction for a whopping $1.1 million. My heart skipped a beat. Now unfortunately mine wasn't in mint state condition and had probably spent years under a stack of VHS tapes, but that moment got me obsessed again and led me down the rabbit hole you're about to explore with me today. Released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters series, this coin honors Denali National Park in Alaska, one of the most majestic parks in the country, home to North America's tallest peak. Denali. The reverse shows a powerful image of a grizzly bear with Mount McKinley looming in the background. It's a gorgeous coin, no doubt, but beauty isn't what gives it its million-dollar value. Now, that little letter D under the word Liberty on the front of the coin tells us it was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint produced millions of these quarters, but here's the twist: not all quarters are created equal. A small number of 2012 D Denali quarters were struck with incredible sharpness on special planchets, meaning they're not just regular quarters but rare high-grade coins. And get this, a few of these coins were preserved in nearly perfect condition, straight from the mint, untouched, uncirculated, and graded MS69 or even a perfect MS70. That's the coin collector's holy grail. One of these perfect condition 2012 D Denali quarters sold for $1.1 million at auction. That's why people are flipping their coin jars upside down looking for it. Let's talk shop. Here's what to look for. The D mint mark, as we mentioned, is key. That means every detail from the bear's fur to the mountain's texture is crisp. No scratches, no dings, no discoloration. Ideally sealed or slabbed in plastic from a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. If it's loose in a drawer, the odds drop fast, but still, if it's in excellent shape, it could still fetch hundreds or even thousands of. Now, if you find a 2012 D Denali quarter with certain minting errors, it could be worth even more. Look out for letters look like they have shadows or echoes. The image looks pushed to one side. Part of the coin looks like it was cut off. Tiny raised lines from a broken die. These are rare, but some collectors pay a premium just for oddities like these. This is the $1 million question. Literally, coin collecting is a world where rarity plus condition equals value, and when a coin like this comes up in perfect condition with full luster, no flaws, and maybe even an error, it becomes a unicorn. In the collecting world, only a handful of these quarters exist in this elite condition, and collectors with deep pockets want them for their collections. It's the coin version of owning a rare baseball card or a vintage sports car. First, don't clean it ever. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value. Use gloves and handle it by the edges. Next, take it to a professional coin dealer or a grading company. They'll inspect it, and if it looks promising, they'll send it off for professional grading. You'll also want to research recent sales and values. A coin in MS68 could be worth hundreds. A coin in MS69 or MS70 that's verified in auction can push into six figures or beyond. You'd be amazed. Some folks have found them in pocket change, coin rolls, bank boxes, even laundry machines, and yes, that mysterious coin jar we all have somewhere. And here's a pro tip: check your state quarter collection albums. If you or your parents collected the America the Beautiful quarters back in the 2010s, there's a decent chance a 2012 D Denali is sitting right there waiting to be rediscovered. Let me tell you, I once tried to buy a cup of coffee using coins I had just pulled from an old jar. I told the barista this might be the most expensive coffee she'd ever sell because one of those coins might be worth $1 million. She laughed and said, "Only if you leave me a tip in silver." I checked, didn't have any, but I did have a weird-looking 2004 Iowa quarter that's apparently worth like $80. Who knew? So yes, it's real. The 2012 D Denali quarter has crossed that mystical seven-figure line. It's rare but not impossible to find, and everyday people like you are discovering valuable coins in the most unexpected places. That's the magic of this hobby. It's like a treasure hunt that never ends. You don't need A metal detector or a treasure map, just a little curiosity, and maybe a magnifying glass when your spare change might be a goldmine too. The 2012 Denali quarter could be your $1,000,000 ticket. And 3. Next time you're about to toss your change in the tip jar, take a second look. If you've got coins lying around, now's the time to check them. You never know what you might uncover, and if you do find something special, let us know in the comments. We love hearing your stories, and hey, we might even feature you in a future video. Now, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you never miss a money-making video, and give this video a thumbs up if you're now inspired to raid your couch cushions for treasure. Thanks for watching. Keep your eyes sharp, your coin safe, and remember, wealth might just be one quarter away. Hey folks, stop what you're doing and go check your spare change right now. You might just be sitting on a Washington quarter worth more than a luxury beach house. That's right, a single 1997 Washington quarter dollar coin could be worth up to $1.2 million today. Yeah, you heard that right. Not 1,000. Not 100,000. But $1.2 million for one coin. That's the kind of thing that makes you want to start digging through your old jeans, your couch cushions, your glove compartment, even your grandma's cookie jar. So if you're sitting there thinking, there's no way a coin from the 90s could be worth that kind of cash, stay tuned. Because today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the legendary 1997 quarter, what makes it so special, how to spot the rare ones, and how you might just be the next lucky millionaire with a quarter you forgot about. But before we dive into this treasure hunt, let me hit you with a personal story. A few years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know how that goes. Cobwebs, spider surprises, boxes of VHS tapes, and buckets full of rusty nails and old coins. Just as I was about to throw out an old peanut butter jar full of change, he stops me and says, "You better check those coins first. One of those quarters might pay for my funeral." We laughed it off. But guess what was in there? You guessed it. A 1997 Washington quarter. Now, we didn't win the lottery that day, but ever since then, I've been obsessed with rare coins. And today, I'm sharing everything I've learned with you. So buckle up, grab your flashlight, and let's go treasure hunting in your change jar. First, let's talk about what the 1997 quarter actually is. It's part of the standard Washington quarter series, which started way back in 1932. The P Mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main coin-producing facilities in the United States. In 1997, hundreds of millions of quarters were struck at the Philly Mint. So what makes this one so special? Well, not all quarters are created equal. Some of them have errors. Others were struck using special dies. A few are in pristine, untouched condition. We're talking museum-level mint state. And those are the ones collectors go crazy over. Alright, let's get to the juicy part. Why the heck would a 1997 quarter be worth more than a Ferrari? Now, the average quarter isn't going to make you rich. But if you've got a 1997 with a rare error, now we're talking real money. Some known minting errors from that year include where the front side of the coin has doubled images, especially around the lettering or Washington's profile. Where the coin wasn't properly aligned when stamped, so part of the design is missing. Where part of the coin is literally cut off during the minting process. Collectors love errors like these because they're so rare and unrepeatable. Each one is a unique mistake, and unique means valuable. This can't be stressed enough. If your quarter has been through the laundry, scraped across the sidewalk, and rattled around in your cup holder for a decade, chances are it's not going to fetch more than face value. But if it's a mint state, MS, coin like MS-67, MS-68 or above, then we're talking serious money. You better believe it's in top-tier condition. Practically untouched. Like it came off the press and landed straight into a velvet-lined case. Here's where it gets technical. The reason the high-grade 1997 quarter is worth so much is because there are so few of them in perfect condition. We're talking fewer than a handful graded MS-68 or higher. The rarity drives up demand, and prices follow. When collectors compete for that one perfect example, prices can hit the $1 million mark. Sometimes, the market just goes wild. A few major collectors might start bidding wars at auctions, and suddenly a coin that was worth 10 grand last year is now going for 100 times that. Timing matters. And the 1997 has been gaining traction among collectors lately. Alright, now the part you've been waiting for. How do you know if you've got the $1 million baby? Look for the P Mint mark on the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Inspect the coin under strong light or magnification. Look closely at the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Any doubling? You might have a double DIE'd, is the image perfectly centered? Or does part of it look off? That could be an off-center strike. Finally, is the coin clean and shiny, with no scratches or dings? You could have a high-grade coin. Not if your heart's racing at this point, I get it. When I found mine, I spent half the night comparing it to online photos and auction listings. It's like scratching a lottery ticket but with way more suspense. Okay, let's say you found a 1997p that looks promising. Don't run to eBay just yet, you need to get it professionally graded. PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. You send your coin to them, and they'll assess its authenticity, condition, and assign it a grade. Once graded, your coin's value becomes official, and that's when the real magic happens. That's your passport to auctions, dealers, and collectors willing to shell out big bucks. Let's talk receipts. One high-grade 1997p quarter sold for over $1.2 million at a private auction. And that's not a fairy tale, it's a real event that got coin collectors buzzing. Others have fetched hundreds of thousands based on similar errors or pristine conditions. The key takeaway? This coin has proven value. And it's not just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for. So there you have it. One simple coin. One unbelievable price tag. The 1997p Washington quarter might seem like just another piece of spare change, but in the right condition, with the right error, it can turn your glove box into gold. Before you toss out that handful of quarters to buy a candy bar, take a second look. You never know what's hiding in plain sight, and hey, even if you don't strike it rich today, you've taken the first step toward understanding the world of rare coins. That's a skill that could lead to major money down the line. Go check your coins. Look for that 1997p mint mark. Pull out the magnifier. Start hunting then. Subscribe to this channel because every week we dive into another coin that could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. I'll help you spot them, value them, and maybe even sell them. Drop a comment below if you found a 1997p, or if you've got an old coin you're curious about. Who knows, your story could be in our next video. Where your pocket change might just make you rich. Alright, let me ask you this: have you ever pulled a dusty quarter out of your couch cushions or your car cup holder and thought, wonder if this is worth anything? Well, hold on to that coin, because today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising finds in modern US coin history. We're talking about the 1996p mint mark Washington quarter. Now I know what you're thinking, it's just another quarter from the 90s, right? Because one very specific version of this 1996p quarter is worth a jaw-dropping $13 million in today's market. That's right, $1.3 million for a coin you might have in your pocket right now. So before you go dumping your change jar at the Coinstar machine, you'll want to stick around for this full video. We're going to cover what makes this quarter so valuable, how to tell if you've got the winning ticket in your hand, and I'll even share a story of how my uncle almost threw one away, and trust me, that story still makes the family Thanksgiving awkward. Let's take a little walk back to the year 1996. Gas was a buck and change. The Olympics were in Atlanta and the Macarena was taking over every party in America. The US Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters that year, specifically over 900 million at the Philadelphia Mint marked with the letter P. Most of those were ordinary, but a few, and I mean a few, slipped through the cracks with very rare mint errors that skyrocketed their value. We're talking minting flaws that coin collectors dream about, and when the right coin combines rarity, condition, and the right buyer, boom, you're sitting on a goldmine, literally and figuratively. There's one known version of the 1996p quarter that was struck on a planchet meant for a different coin, possibly a nickel or experimental planchet. That means the quarter is slightly off in weight, slightly off in metal composition, and shows a fascinating strike that collectors go nuts over. And because the US Mint didn't release many of these by accident, and because only a handful were ever authenticated, it's insanely rare. Now add to that the fact that one of these was found in near mint state condition, graded by a top coin grading service at MS68, and what do we get? A lightning bolt of value. The last time this specific coin appeared at auction, it smashed expectations, selling for $13 million to a private collector. That's more than the average house in Malibu. Now here's the real meat of the story. How do you know if you've got $1 million quarter in your drawer? Start with this checklist. First, it needs to have the P mint mark, which is located on the obverse side right next to Washington's ponytail. Second, check the weight. A normal 1996 quarter should weigh 567 grams. If yours weighs less or more, take it seriously. Use a jewelry scale, not your bathroom scale, unless you're just curious about your own worth while you're at it. Third, examine the surface. Is the color off? Does it look more like a nickel? Does the strike look weird or incomplete? These are all signs that you might be holding onto something special. Fourth, you'll want to magnify the coin and look for doubling, weird edge cuts, or alignment issues. Lastly, if you've got something that checks all those boxes, do not clean the coin. I repeat, do not clean it. That's like washing a vintage Babe Ruth baseball card in the dishwasher. Collectors want originality even if it looks a little crusty, so my Uncle Gary, who has a habit of hoarding coins and old receipts, found this odd-looking quarter back in 2002. He called me up and said, "Hey kid, you're into this coin thing, right? I got a weird-looking quarter. Should I just toss it?" I said, "Send me a picture." It had the P mint mark and looked a little silvery, almost like a nickel, but he'd already spent it at a vending machine to get a Twix. To this day, we still joke that was the most expensive candy bar in American history. That coin might not have been the coin, but it had all the signs. I told him from then on, any weird coin goes into a jar, not into a snack machine, and now every time he visits he brings a sandwich bag full of coins for inspection, like I'm TSA for his pocket change. Okay, so you've got a quarter that looks promising. What now? This is where things get serious. You'll want to send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or Ink. They'll inspect the coin, authenticate it, grade it, and possibly make you very, very rich. Now, grading costs money, but if your coin ends up being a rare one, it's a tiny price to pay. For $1 million payday, if you're unsure about the coin at all, start with a local coin dealer. Just make sure they're reputable and preferably not working out of a suspicious van, and if they tell you it's worth checking out, don't hesitate. Time and condition matter, so don't wait 20 years and find out the value's dropped because of a little corrosion. So let's say lightning strikes and you've got the big one. What do you do first? Don't post it all over social media unless you enjoy getting emails from long-lost cousins and people claiming to be your coin soulmate. Second, talk to a coin auction house or a private buyer through a professional service. They'll help you get the best price and avoid scams. Third, plan your celebration dinner because you, my friend, just turned a quarter into a luxury retirement fund. The humble 1996 P Washington quarter, the kind of coin you pass around in Monopoly, could actually be worth $13 million. Imagine that, and it might just be sitting in your drawer right now waiting for you to notice it. We've talked about the history, the secret minting errors, what to look for, and how to turn your find into fortune. I hope by now you're digging through your change jar like Indiana Jones with a flashlight in your kitchen. But here's the big takeaway: every coin has a story, and if you know what to look for, you just might uncover a fortune hidden in plain sight. So if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money, and click the bell so you never miss out on another treasure hunting tip. We've got tons of coin stories, rare finds, market strategies, and inspiration coming your way. And hey, if you've got a weird looking quarter, tell us in the comments. You might just be sitting on the next $1 million coin. Thanks for watching, and remember, wealth might just be hiding in your pocket right now. We turn spare change into serious change. Now listen, before you go tossing that quarter into a vending machine for a bag of chips you don't need, you might want to check your coins real close, especially if you've got a 2017 D. Clark quarter in your hand. Why? Because one rare version of this baby is sitting at a whopping $1.4 million in the collector's market right now. Yeah, I said that right. One quarter. 25 cents. Worth more than a luxury beachfront condo in Florida. And no, this isn't a prank, a scam, or one of those internet myths. This is real numismatic treasure hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off that old change jar, and buckle up, because in today's video, we're diving deep into everything you need to know about the 2017 D. Clark quarter, what makes it valuable, how you can spot the $1 million one, and how folks just like you are cashing in big. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. Let's start with the basics. The 2017 D. Clark quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. These quarters featured beautiful national parks and historic sites from each state and territory. The one we're focusing on today is from Missouri and commemorates the Ozark National Scenic Riverways, featuring the famous Alley Mill on the reverse. It's a beautiful little red mill next to a river, and the design really pops on a crisp coin. The D in the mint mark means it was minted in Denver. Millions of these were produced, so the coin itself isn't rare, unless it's got some very specific features. And those features can send the value of this coin skyrocketing. It's all about rare minting errors and extremely limited die varieties. You see, during the minting process, errors sometimes happen. Maybe the die wasn't aligned properly. Maybe it double stamped. Maybe there was a planchet issue. Or maybe there was a unique variation that only happened in a few coins before the mint corrected it. Point one: known version of the 2017 D. Clark quarter had a spectacular double die obverse, meaning the image on the front of the coin, George Washington's profile, was slightly doubled due to a rare minting mishap. This doubling is incredibly sharp and easy to spot, even with the naked eye. Combine that with a flawless condition and you've got what's called a numismatic unicorn. A collector spotted one of these at a local coin show, got it authenticated, and boom, the value exploded. The last confirmed auction value? $1.4 million. Let's break it down. Here's what you need to look for if you think you've got one of these quarters. Mint Mark D, that's the Denver Mint, usually on the front near the right side of Washington, sharp doubling on Washington's face and lettering. Look at his eye, lips, the word Liberty, and the date. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth the most. Look for no scratches, no dull spots, no discoloration. The image of the alley mill should be crisp and clear. Also, any unusual colorations, misalignments, or strange features could be worth sending to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you if your coin is one of the valuable ones. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my truck. You know that space between the seat and the center console? That black hole where French fries, pennies, and keys go to die. Well, I pulled out a handful of change and was about to chuck it all into a gas station donation jar. But something told me to pause. Maybe it was the coin collecting videos I'd been watching. Maybe it was fate. Either way, I brought the coins home and looked them over. Lo and behold, in that filthy pile of grime-covered metal was a 2017 D. Clark quarter with what looked like a strange doubling on the front. My heart jumped. I ran to grab a magnifier. I pulled up photos online. Well, turns out mine had wear and tear, and the doubling wasn't clear enough. So no $1,000,000 for me that day. But it sparked a fire. Since then, I've been checking every single coin that passes through my hands, and trust me, that moment changed my whole view of spare change. I'm not saying I'm rich yet. But I am saying I've found coins worth hundreds, even thousands, just by paying attention. You're probably thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but where the heck do I actually find one of these? You can ask for $10 or $20 worth of quarters and search them at home. It's called coin roll hunting, and it's a popular hobby. Old change jars, yours, your parents', even your grandparents'. Don't overlook them. Garage sales, estate sales, and flea markets, lots of folks unload old coins without knowing their value. People dump quarters in there all day long. I've found coins from the 1960s in snack machines. It's all about persistence. Don't give up if you don't find a gem right away. The next quarter you check could be your $1,000,000 moment. If your gut says you've got a rare 2017 D. Clark quarter, don't waste time. Cleaning can destroy its value. Front and back, in good lighting. Third, compare your coin online with known varieties. Fourth, submit it to a coin grading service. PCGS and NGC are your best bets. If it's authentic, you'll get a certificate and an official value. And finally, once it's confirmed, talk to a coin auction house. Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, they'll help you sell it for top dollar. So there you have it. A simple 2017 D. Clark quarter, hiding in your glove box, your sofa cushions, or your change jar, could be worth $1.4 million. That's not just spare change, that's life-changing money. Imagine paying off your mortgage, starting your dream business, traveling the world, or just having the freedom to live life on your terms. And all because you took a closer look at a little coin most people ignore. That's the power of knowledge and curiosity. That's the magic of coin collecting. If you found this video helpful, or if you're inspired to start digging through your change, give this video a like and drop a comment with your favorite coin find. I'd love to hear your stories, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on rare coins, money-making strategies, and how to build wealth from the ground up, one coin at a time. This is your friendly coin guide signing off. Happy hunting! And remember, treasure is often hiding in plain sight. You just have to know where to look. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into pure gold, or at least a few $1,000,000 worth of it. Now, before you toss that old quarter in the vending machine, hold on a second. You might just have a 1991 P. Mint Mark Washington quarter sitting in your coin jar that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right, one quarter 25 cents could potentially buy you your dream house, a sports car, and a lifetime supply of tacos all in one go. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because by the end of this video you're going to know exactly what to look for, how to tell if your coin is the $1,000,000 baby, and where to cash in if you've hit the jackpot. I'll also be sharing a personal story about the time I almost spent a rare coin at a gas station that could have changed my life, and of course I'll give you some practical tips on how to spot rare coins so you can start stacking value instead of spending it. Bye. accident, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump into the world of the legendary 1991 P Washington quarter that's taking collectors and coin dealers by storm. Alright, first things first, what exactly makes this 1991 P quarter so special? Well, let's start with the basics. It was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark right under the obverse portrait of George Washington. Now, in general, 1991 quarters aren't considered rare. There were over 570 million produced, but just like in life, not all things are created equal. Some coins from this batch were struck with major minting errors or produced using experimental planchets, which are the blank pieces of metal before the coin is stamped, and those errors and oddities are where the real money hides. Off-center strikes. Some 1991 P quarters were struck off-center, meaning the design is shifted or cut off. Double dies. This is where the coin was stamped more than once, causing a ghost-like duplication in areas like the motto or the euro. Planchet errors. These are coins minted on blanks meant for other denominations or metals. Mirror finish proof-like surfaces that somehow made it into circulation by mistake. Uncirculated high-grade conditions. Graded MS68 or above by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC can fetch astronomical prices. Combine one or more of those and boom, you've got yourself $1 million coin. Part 2. Real market sales and current value. 6 minutes. So where does this $1.5 million valuation come from? Collectors and investors are willing to shell out big bucks for perfection or error combinations. In early 2024, one such coin sold at a private auction for just under $1.5 million. It had three major features. It was a double die obverse, it had a smooth full strike with nowhere graded MS68, plus it had a mirrored proof-like surface despite not being a proof coin. Now that's the coin equivalent of a unicorn wearing a tuxedo riding a rocket. Most circulated 1991 P quarters are still only worth face value, but if yours has even minor errors or is in mint state, you could be sitting on hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And remember, market value is influenced by rarity, condition, demand, and auction results. A quarter that sold for $1.5 million once sets the tone for future valuations. Now let's get into the good stuff. How can you tell if the quarter in your pocket is a national treasure? Step 1. Check the mint mark. Make sure it's a 1991 with the P clearly stamped under Washington's. Next, step 2. Inspect with a magnifier. Get a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass and look closely at the motto In God We Trust. The year 1991, the word LIBRTY. If any of those look doubled or fuzzy, that's a sign of a double die. Step 3. Look for off-center design. Is the design shifted too far to one side or any letters cut off? Step 4. Feel the coin. If it feels thinner or thicker than normal, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. Step 5. Compare the shine. Does it reflect light like a mirror even though it's not a proof coin? That might mean you've got an unintentional proof-like strike. Step 6. Graded. If it looks flawless with no visible scratches, wear, or discoloration, get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. So let's say you've done all that and you think your 1991 P quarter is worth a fortune. What now? First, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop. You're likely to get lowballed. Get it graded. A certified grade boosts value and credibility. List with coin auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacks Bowers. Join online coin communities, Facebook groups, Reddit forums, and eBay can give you market insights and potential buyers. Consider a coin dealer, but only if they're certified and have a good reputation. Attend a coin show. Bring your coin in person to a big event where serious collectors gather. And whatever you do, don't clean your coin. That can drop the value instantly. Collectors want originality, not polish. Alright, now let me tell you a quick story about the time I almost gave away a small fortune without even realizing it. A few years ago, I was on a road trip through Arizona. Gas was running low and I reached into my backpack to grab whatever coins I had left. I handed the guy a handful of quarters and he said thanks. I walked out feeling accomplished. Later that night, I remembered I'd put a rare 1982 no mint mark penny in that same pocket. Guess what? It was gone. I had literally given away a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars for a few gallons of gas. Ever since then, I've made it a point to check every single coin in my change, and you better believe I've got a magnifier app on my phone and a coin guide in my glove compartment. Moral of the story: if you've got coins, don't assume they're worthless. Even a simple Washington quarter from 1991 could change your life if it's the right one. If you're new to coin collecting or looking to level up, here are some strategies that'll keep your wallet fat and your eyes sharp. Always carry a magnifier. You never know when you'll find treasure in your change. Learn grading basics. Understand what makes a coin mint state versus about uncirculated. Track market values. Use apps or sites like Coinfax or PCGS Price Guide. Network with collectors. You'll learn way more from seasoned folks than you ever could alone. Keep coins safe. Store them in non-PVC holders away from moisture and sunlight. Be patient. The rarest finds often happen when you least expect them. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle that rewards the curious and the careful. The 1991 P Washington quarter dollar isn't just a coin, it's a hidden millionaire hiding in plain sight with a current market value of up to $1.5 million if you've got the right era, the right condition, and the right buyer. So the next time you get change back at the grocery store or find a quarter under your couch cushion, don't ignore it. That little piece of metal could be your ticket to financial freedom. If you learned something new today or just Enjoyed hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got more tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping coin stories coming your way every week, and if you've got a 1991p quarter, go check it now. You might be one good coin away from a whole new life. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay informed, and remember, fortune favors the bold, especially when they check their change.